It is your favorite motherfucking couch potatoes. Welcome back to the Couch Sports Talk podcast. I am your boy Goozy here with philanthropist and young E. It is a Thursday night for us, Friday for you, or another day possibly if you are 20 years in the future watching this. I hope things turned out okay. Philanthropist young E, how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Ready to jump into it.
Yeah, feeling fantastic. Looking forward to NFL Week 8 and reevaluating how we saw this season beforehand on Sunday.
Yes. We're heading up onto the week 8, which is currently. I was thinking about this earlier today. When it is 17 games. No, wait, we already have a 17 weeks. Never mind. I'm being stupid. We're gonna have 18 weeks. So I guess just week 9.
Yep.
That'll be our middle mark. Okay.
Yep.
I was clearly not thinking right there. Anyways, we'll get past that one there. And we did have a game tonight. And I was mentioning to you guys earlier today that I wasn't really all that interested in this game. And even when I was watching the game, I wasn't all that impressed. Young E, though, seemed to really appreciate the game. And, of course, it's always nice when we have NFL football. And we had the Atlanta Falcons playing the Carolina Panthers. And from what I seen, I didn't watch very much of it, but I did see someone get ejected for what I thought was a pretty dirty hit. Took out my boy Teddy. It just seems like every time he steps on the field, some motherfucker's got to hit him hard just at the wrong time, wrong place. And it's just unfortunate, but I think he did get back out there. And, I think Young E's going to go into it. The Panthers look like they have a bright future ahead of them. They have a good coach. But at the end of the day, it wasn't their time. And the Falcons got a second win here. Young E, what did you see from this game? And was it really – I've seen a lot of people coming up with this game saying that it's going to be the worst Thursday night game. Was that true?
No. We have NFC East matchups on Thursday. I don't want to hear that shit.
But I'm saying, like, Eagles and Giants last week,
like, I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't, like, overly excited about this game. But I will take any football that is not NFC East. And especially when right now we have nothing else on. There's no other sports on. I need something to watch. I need something to analyze, look at, dissect, figure out what the fuck's going on, and enjoy it.
You can't do that.
I enjoyed it tonight. I know at one point, like, Goose texted me. He was like, I'm a 2 out of 10 right now. And I was feeling like 6 or 7 about the game. And then there was a hot play, got me up to 8. So, I just like football, man. Go. I'm excited to have sports on. But from beginning to end, I will say I was very, very, very impressed with Matt Rule. I guess it helped his cause that Troy Aikman was talking his ass up the entire night about how great he was.
Yeah.
But I was high on Matt Rule coming into the season because I had seen what he had done at Temple and Baylor, taking low-level programs and making them high-level programs, 10-11 win programs. That's a big deal. That's no small feat in college football, especially with a team like Baylor in the Big 12. Temple, a little bit smaller division, okay, but you go to the Big 12, that's a big deal. So I really like Matt Rule. He is a brilliant offensive mind. He brings a lot to the table. When they get Christian McCaffrey back, this is a dangerous team. This is a dangerous offense. I said it at the beginning of the year that this is a dangerous offense. Everybody was like, shut the fuck up. But right now, they have a pretty good passing game, and I think they have the best running back in football when he's back on the field, hopefully next week. For them, Robbie Anderson has looked really good this year coming out. Curtis Samuel, got to see a bit of him tonight out of the backfield too. That was something interesting. I didn't know he could do, but he looked good. DJ Moore has been good. So they got some weapons. Defense lost them the game tonight. They need some work. Falcons, for tonight, this is what really happened. The Falcons finally didn't fuck up in the fourth quarter. That was it. That was the whole thing of the game, is the Falcons finally didn't fuck up in the fourth quarter. Teddy went out on a shitty drive that really hurt the team. They also missed 2 fourth downs in the red zone, which hurts. That definitely hurts, especially when you lose by 8. But they were just handing the ball off in the offensive line. There was a rookie on the outside, just couldn't hold his own against Grady Jarrett, and it is what it is. Grady Jarrett's an all-pro fucking D tackle, and that dude's a beast.
Slap motherfuckers bad.
But Falcons finally clutched it up tonight. Calvin Ridley went down. I hated to see that. I think his foot's probably broken by the way he acted. It was very weird to me because he just got tackled. Like the dude tackled him from behind, and he kind of landed on his feet and ankles, but it didn't really look like anything. And then Calvin Ridley went to get up, and he was just holding the top of his foot. And to me, they said it was an ankle injury, but if he's holding the top of his foot, that's not an ankle injury. And then looking at the replay in slow-mo, it kind of looked like his foot got smashed under dude, and it could have just went like that. And that sucks.
Dr.
I hate to see that because Calvin Ridley's a great player, but hopefully it's not that. Hopefully it's something minimal and he'll be back. But yeah, Falcons actually look good tonight. The defense clutched it up on the last drive. They were down by 8. Teddy drove them down the field and then ended up throwing a pick. So Falcons clutched it up tonight. But I think, like Jordan said, this Panthers team has a very bright future. I think, honestly, if Christian McCaffrey hadn't went out, I think they'd be one of my in the hunt teams for the playoffs for that 7 seed because they're definitely, I think they're better than the Saints. I think they're the second best team in that division, and I don't think it'll be but 1 or 2 more years and they'll be the best team in that division.
I like that. It'll be very interesting to see too if maybe the Falcons and Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, they can have a couple games here and there where they're still looking really good. And if Falcons, might decide to keep them because it does look like they're in need of a rebuild and just a total, just overhaul of what they've been doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next couple of weeks and seeing what they can string together. And I'm be honest with you, I'm not expecting too much from them, even with a win tonight. But I like having some divisional games on Thursday night. I think it works out very well when they do stuff like that, especially when it's not 2 super high profile teams. I think it's nice when we have some divisional action there. All right, let's jump into it. We're at the week 8 mark. It's getting hot. It's getting scary. It's getting sweaty. And, man, we've had a lot of injuries. It is kind of crazy, thinking halfway through how many injuries we've had, how many just changes in the league that we've had. And I was kind of expecting things to get a little worse, but I think we've made it I think NFL's been a little fortunate with the way they've handled some of the things to be able to get to this point and be where they are.
Oh, yeah.
So very, very happy that we're still having some NFL football. And I'd like to it's right at the top of my list. I'm looking at my team's always pop up at the top. So, of course, let's just start with the Dolphins. Let's get this one over with. Let's get through this real quick. We have the Rams, Aaron Donald, and that defensive line getting ready to go after rookie, which kind of scares me, who just broke his fucking hip in an injury that only people in car accidents usually get. 2 at time. I'm excited, a little worried, but I'm excited. I think he's going to bring a whole different dimension to the entire offense, whether it's moving around. And the thing is with that is, man, Fitz was our second leading runner. So,
True.
I don't know how much more running Tua will bring compared to Fitz, but I think, on the rollouts, maybe running some more option plays and stuff like that, having the ball having offense spread out a little bit more. I think it's going to work really well. One player that has actually had a pretty good start to the season, Gesicki, the tight end, I think he's actually going to thrive a lot more underneath Tua. I think it's just going to fit that play style a little bit better. But this Rams team, they've been really looking good this season. They're really looking improved from last season. Last season was kind of a down year for them after going to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go to you, Philanthropist, first, because Young Eid was just talking about last segment. What are you expecting to see from this game? And could you see, and not, I want to say it would be an upset in my eyes if the Dolphins win this one. So how do you see this one going?
Certainly. I think the edge has to go to the Rams just because, like you said, they're a pretty solid team, very well coached. What I would tell you as a Dolphins fan, though, is don't really fear this Rams defense as much as you'd think. What Aaron Donald and, Leonard Floyd on that D line, what they cover up is the fact that the Rams actually have really shitty linebackers and you could really gash them deep, whether it's putting, a guy like Gesicki, your new tight end, right? Putting him in some good play action situations where he can go across the middle, get in the seam, you're going to be able to gash them for yards for sure. And from there, it just depends on can you get in the end zone or not. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey's very good. He's going to shut down. I'm assuming he's going to trail around Devontae Parker, but maybe he'll be in zone. Who knows? Either way, I think this defense is more vulnerable than people would think just because they see Aaron Donald and they assume that he's just a one-man wrecking crew, which he is, of course. But I'm going to give the edge to the Rams here, but I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I think the Dolphins are way better than either their record or people's general opinion of them would have you lead to believe. So I'm looking forward to this one. I've been waiting for Tua time. I've been banging the table about it since week one. Really excited to see him after guys like Herbert and Burrow have actually turned out to look really good this year. So I'm looking to see what Tua brings to the table.
Yes, and I do want to point out that the 3 losses that the Dolphins have received have been from the Bills, who are at the top of the AFC, along with the Chiefs, and are looking to be taking that division this year. Patriots week 1, where it was Cam Newton kind of getting surprised in the league again. I think he's struggled a little bit past weeks, but I still think he has some good football ahead of him this season, no doubt. And also a loss, and it was a very close loss, the Seahawks. So 3 very good teams that they've lost to, very competitive in all of the games. Young E, how do you see this game going?
So I want to point out the betting lines real quick because I want to start doing that with the games. But Rams are 3.5-point favorites. The money line for the game is 200 to win you 100 on the Rams. 100 wins you 160 on the Dolphins. So me personally, I'd be betting on the Dolphins this game. I think Tua is going to come out, bring another dimension to the offense. I think Phil made a really good point. I'm going to go even further. Outside of Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Jalen Ramsey, the Rams really don't have a good defense at all. Their defense is just not good outside of that. They need to improve. And offense, some weeks they're really good and some weeks they're really bad. And I think against a team who has a really good secondary in the Dolphins, one of the best in the league, they're really going to struggle because they're so reliant on the passing game right now because who in that backfield has been consistent this year? It's somewhat different every fucking week. So I'm taking the Dolphins in this. Matchup to watch for me is Devontae Parker versus Jalen Ramsey. I want to know if they're going to shadow him all day. He's had a great season, and I think that's a big target for Tua. But I'm interested to see if the offensive play calling kind of changes because I have got to watch all of the Dolphins games this year. So I'm interested to see if they run more of a spread and they get 3-4 wide receiver sets or 3 and Gesicki and all shotgun plays. Like I'm interested to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
I'd also be looking out for Preston Williams this week. I think he'll find his way to get involved, especially if Jalen Ramsey is shadowing Devontae Parker throughout the game.
I would just like to point out, too, that the Dolphins beat the brakes off of the 49ers, and I think the 49ers are way better than the Rams this year. I mean, that might be a hot take to some, but we smacked the Rams, we being the 49ers, with our B- team. So, I really believe the Dolphins have a good chance in this game.
Yeah, and I think what the Dolphins are doing really well this season are exploiting weaknesses, as you've seen against the Niners. Right, there was 2 tubbies and like 150 on someone coming off the practice squad.
Yep.
And that's what good teams do. They're looking at it's. I think some coaches that don't do the right adjustments mid-game, they kind of just go along with their plan, and they're not looking at what the other team is doing. And that's what I've been seeing the Dolphins do a lot more with Brian Flores in comparison to what shit we fucking had in the past going Gase and fucking Joe Philbin.
Man.
So, I've just really liked and been impressed with what the Dolphins have done this season so far. I mean, I am expecting maybe Gesicki to go in the slot. a little bit more this game. And then Shaheen, who just got a contract extension, who's a pretty good all-around tight end. He's I think, gonna be inside helping out Tua block, whether he's running or just doing some option stuff to the running backs. So I'm excited. I think the Dolphins, just because I'm a fucking Dolphins fan, I want to win here for Tua's first game. But I do acknowledge the fact that the Rams are still a very good team and probably are going to be playoff bound.
If Tua plays good, this is the Dolphins' trajectory.
Oh yeah.
And they could win that division this year.
Yeah, but you know what scares me is if you look at like with how well Burrow and Herbert are playing, like the numbers behind it, the statistics behind it is, you know, at least one of the quarterbacks has to not be good. So I know it's really early to even say Burrow and Herbert are there. But
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
There you go.
See? There's another one. So we'll see.
He's gonna be
but yeah. I'm very excited to say, you know, I can watch a Dolphins game now and actually feel like they're going to be competitive and I'm not going to be let down. I might still be a little let down this season, but not nearly as much in seasons past.
Better than the Ronnie Brown era?
Oh,
chill out. That shit was hot. I fuck with my boy
Ronnie Brown was different, bro.
See, all right, there we go. There we go. That was my OG fantasy god.
Oh my goodness.
OG fantasy clutcher.
Man, yeah, I miss Ronnie Brown. He was cool, man. He was picked right after Alex Smith. He was number 2 pick overall in that draft.
That's tough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great, but that's tough.
Hey, he did what he was supposed to do. It was just bad teams. Bad team.
Yeah, it happens.
All right. Next up, we have a game that's not going to get my dick hard, but, you know, it should still be a good game. And that's going to be the Colts versus the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
We have Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford coming off an incredible, you know, under a minute, fucking no timeouts comeback against the Falcons, which can be expected to happen, but it happened nonetheless. And it's hard work in the NFL to do it. You got to do it. Matthew Stafford, he does it on a weekly basis. We like to see that. Why am I seeing everything starting at 11 a.m. instead of 10 a.m.?
Oh, they're adjusting
daylight saving times.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's happening this weekend.
What's going on?
That's crazy.
Hey, I got a question about that. Didn't we vote that out? Why are we still doing that?
It was on the ballot, but we voted it. We voted to remain in daylight saving. I know, bro. What are we doing in California?
I thought we did vote it out, but then
no, we did, and then California
decided not to. The official
the legislature, whatever the fuck you.
Damn, they really stepped in. That's crazy.
Yeah, that shit's dumb.
I might have to make a call.
All right. Anyways, Colts Lions.
Yes, Colts Lions. Young E. What are you expecting out of this game, and who is walking out with the big fat dub?
All right, so we got 4-2 Colts, 3-3 Lions, 2.5 point spread to the Colts, 2.5 point favorites, 156 to win 100 for the Colts, and 100 wins you 128 for the Lions. So that's pretty close. This game, though, I'm taking the Lions for sure. They're on a hot streak. They've won 3 of their last 4, and the one loss was a really close game with the Saints where Alvin Kamara kind of just took over. I saw a crazy stat today, too. I wanted to share it with you guys, but I forgot to send it. But Alvin Kamara is 4th in the league right now in receptions.
Whoa.
The fucking running back. And he's like 2-3 from the lead.
He's different.
Without Michael Thomas, they really do rely on him.
They do. And he's been, last year, he really looked like he lost a step. This year he looks back to that early self, so I'm happy for that. But I got the Lions in this game. They're on a little bit of a hot streak. I think Matt Stafford's coming out with something to play for. I think everyone in that building knows Matt Patricia's on the hot seat, and I think he has a good relationship with the players, and I think the players like him, and I don't think they want to see him out of there. So I think they're coming in to fight. Their backs are against a wall, and they are also one of the teams I'm looking at for a 7 seed out of the NFC West, or out of the NFC, if one of the NFC West teams falls off, which I think inevitably it has to happen at some point. One of them has to.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Nope. 9-7 or better, the whole division. I'm calling it.
All right, philanthropist. Does Philip Rivers have the arm to get a dub this weekend?
I think, listen, I'm going with the Colts. The Colts are a great team. They're a really great team. And I think you guys dislike Phil Rivers so much that you want to pick against them every week.
Oh, I don't be
But
hating.
it's really disregarding the fact that they have a fantastic defense and offensive roster still. I mean, they're really solid at basically every position. The Lions, I think, have like stumbled into a few wins this year because I don't think Matt Patricia is good at all. I just think that Stafford is really like basically a borderline top 10 quarterback, and he kind of has been his whole career. And he just has the cojones and he has the ability to gut them out a few games if it's close. With the Colts, I think they're the clear favorite now in the South, the AFC South. I think they're just going to come out and they're going to show up. Whether it's Phil Rivers throwing 2 dumb picks a game, as long as he can still get 250 yards, which he definitely can. That's really all it takes to move the offense. Jonathan Taylor obviously has been great for the team. Their defense is fantastic as always. Always have good pass protection because they got big boys like Quentin Nelson there. I'm just going with the
Best
Colts
boy.
here. Yeah, I think the Colts are better here, so I'm going with that pick and I'm sticking with it.
I'm gonna go with the Colts as well here. I really do like Matthew Stafford a lot. I think he is a top 10 quarterback, no matter what year it is. It's just he's had some fucking terrible teams around him, and he has one of the best arms in the league by far. Since I've grown up, kind of watching him a little bit, he's been playing for a while now. Whenever I think of a sidearm throw, that man, I think of him all the time. I know Lamar gets a lot of love for it, but man, Stafford can really throw that thing when it's sidearm, and sometimes he does it when he shouldn't be doing it, and the ball isn't accurate because of it. But he's a gunslinger, and that's what he does. And sometimes he really does have to put the team on his back. But at the end of the day, I think that we don't talk about the Lions enough as being a terrible organization and just having bad luck all the time. I think that the Browns get a lot of hate for it when the Lions should also be getting hate for it.
But they've made some playoffs at least.
Yeah, the Browns be doing it here and there too. I wouldn't say
not recently. Can I give a matchup to watch in this? I'm excited for one of these matchups. DeAndre Swift has taken over the lead role for the Lions over the last 2 weeks. I'm excited to see DeAndre Swift versus Jonathan Taylor because there was a lot of debate about that in the draft, and I think that's a cool matchup to watch. Hard to compare, though, when the Colts have an elite offensive line and the Lions have a butt-ass offensive line.
I think you want DeAndre Swift to take over that lead back role because you got him in fantasy. I don't know. I think it's a little too early to say he's taken over that role.
Well, last week he just played 70% of the snaps. So I would say that's probably over the last week his snaps have increased like 15% per week. So I would say
I bet he won't do it again.
We'll see, bro. It's a matchup I'm excited to watch.
No, I feel you. He's good. Except for that drop touchdown in week 1. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that shit was cheeks. But that was
probably
the jitters.
because of that.
He's a rookie. You can't be mad at that. It happens.
Nope. Yeah. Stone hands.
We're all human.
That's rookie jitters, bro.
All right. So we had 2 for the Colts, 1 for the Lions. I do think it will be a good game, but like I said, it doesn't really get me hard like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm real down here. Anyways. Next, we have a game that has the potential to be one of the biggest blowouts in NFL history. I would love to see it. I think this can finally be the game that Adam Gase finally gets fired, and we have the defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, against the pitiful, sad, depressing, almost makes you want to pop a couple pillies, New York Jets. This is one of those games that could be a disaster. Okay, I think we all know who we're picking here. I think we all know who's going to win. Philanthropist, do the Jets have any sort of chance? And I mean,
not a snowball's chance in hell. But the line for this game is Kansas City minus 19.5. I'm telling you right now, if you're a gambler, put a significant but not debilitating bet on the Jets to cover, The Jets will cover. The last time there was a line this big, it was last year when the Dolphins were winless and they were playing the Patriots. And the line, I believe, was 21.5 in favor of New England. Guess what happened? The Dolphins covered because you don't ever give someone 21 points. They're going to cover. It's very unlikely that the Jets actually end up losing by 20 points or more. They're going to cover. There's going to be garbage time. That's a 3-touchdown lead. Look, just put your money on the Jets to cover. That's all I'm going to say. Other than that, yes, they will lose. Yes, they're completely outmatched. If I was putting money on it, I would put money on the Jets money line.
Is this Gase's last game?
No, because I think the Jets are keeping him as part of their tanking plan. They know they're going to go 0-16 if they keep him, so they want to keep him so that they get the tank for Trevor going.
That's quite
Trevor got COVID.
Yes, he got COVID.
Is that what he's telling the Jet Scouts?
Yep, exactly. There we go. Drop a couple spots in the draft.
Yep.
Young E, what do you think?
Phil dropped the spread. I want to drop the money line because this is the most ridiculous betting numbers I've ever seen in any sport ever. $2,500 gets you $100 on the Chiefs.
That's ridiculous.
$100 on the Jets winning the game gets you $1,100 if they miraculously, in that .0001 chance, win that game.
What about if they
throw $50 down on the Jets, bro? That's $550 coming back your way if they miraculously win.
Let's all do it. The three of us put in combined 50.
50.
What if they cover, Ethan? If they cover, how much do you win?
It's the match 50.
I think cover is straight up, so I'm not really sure how the spread works. I usually pay attention to the money line. But either way, Chiefs in this game, no questions asked. Like I said, I give the Jets a .001 chance, so less than a 1% chance. But it's shit. They're shit. They're just shit. They're fucking terrible.
Jets.
I need water. Help me. I need water. Help.
So I do have a question for the both of you. Do you think that they would have the Jets, if they did fire Adam Gase, would have a higher chance of winning games?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Sam Darnold is not. I don't think Sam Darnold is bad.
Okay, but what
I've watched him play. I don't think he's bad. I think Adam Gase is so bad that it makes everybody except for Jamison Crowder bad.
But here's what I'm saying. He gets fired. That offense doesn't change overnight. That team doesn't change overnight. There might be a morale boost, but they're also still the New York Jets.
Doesn't matter. They'd win a game. At least one, but they're not going to win one with him there.
We're looking at 0-16. With
Yes.
100%.
I just love to hear it. I just want
I think I've looked at their schedule, and I really don't see a game that they could win.
I could see, beating the Dolphins. Fuck it. Happens.
If Cam really, if shit hits the fan in New England, and Cam really goes all bad, and they really dump everything, dump Stephon Gilmore, I could see them maybe stealing a game from the Patriots late in the season, but I doubt it. That would be the only
team. Would never let that happen, bro.
Oh, hell no.
You would have to crucify Bill before he was in the game.
I think he would literally dress up. He would put the pads, he'd get the helmet. He would go out there and beat the Jets by himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then his son Steve will take over coaching duties.
Bill would pull up Mike Tomlin and start trying to trip people from the side.
Motherfucker. Don't get me started on that.
All right.
Save it.
Hopefully, I do want to see a blowout. I want to see my boy Kelsey get 4 tubs. My fantasy team. I'm playing Young E this week. Should be exciting.
But battle for first place.
Yeah, battle for first place. But actually, speaking of the Patriots, our next game is, I think, a game that's not getting enough hype around it. I think this can be one of the better games this weekend. And that is the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. They're going to be, I wouldn't say fighting for the top spot in the division, but if the Patriots can pull out a win here, that really will have huge effects on how the division is going to go. It keeps the Patriots alive. Maybe if they do win, they decide maybe we shouldn't trade Stephon Gilmore. Maybe we do still have a shot here. So I'm excited for this one. The Bills, of course, have looked greatly improved the last couple of years, and now they're looking at like a top contender here in the AFC. Young E, what are you expecting to see out of this game, and who's walking out with the motherfucking dub?
This is a good game. I'm excited for this. I think Cam's got a chip on his shoulder. Um, I will pull up. Hold up. I got the betting numbers right here. Buffalo is 3.5 point favorites. 100 on Buffalo gives you 222. 222 on Buffalo gets you 100. 100 on New England gets you 180. I'd definitely be taking New England in this game. I think Buffalo is one of those teams where their record is better than they actually are. I think they're a good team, but I think they are a 5-4 good team. They're going to be a 9-7, 10-6 good team.
Whoa.
Like, I don't think they're a 5-2 good team. And I think with Cam coming out with that chip on his shoulder, I think Belichick has something to prove because there's been a lot of news about it was Brady, it wasn't Belichick over the past week because the Bucs are doing good and the Patriots are not. I think they're going to come out and want to kind of put on a show. I actually am going to take a big win for the Patriots. I think it'll be 14+.
Shit.
Wow.
Fist.
Yeah, I agree with Ethan. I think the Patriots, this is really win or go home for them. I think it's going to come out, and even if the offense only gives 13 points, I think the Patriots just going to find a way to win this one. It's like that, we hear back when Bill Belichick said on to Cincinnati a few years ago and the Patriots had a rough start. I feel like this is their on to Cincinnati game where they're just going to come out, reset, give just a fresh restart. I think, I've been one of the guys who keeps saying like dudes who get COVID in season get their whole entire flow messed up. And I think that's what happened with Cam. I really don't think Cam is this bad. I looked it up, and their Patriots offense this year between Stidham, Hoyer, and Cam Newton have 3 passing touchdowns and 11 picks combined. And I don't think Cam is that bad. I know he's only part of that, but he's not that bad, especially when he's healthy. So I think they're going to get back into the flow of the offense. I think guys like Burkhead are really going to step it up and give them a good rushing attack. And I think this is just a gut check. I don't think the Bills are ready. I think the Patriots still have something left to give. So I think it's going to be a Patriots win for sure.
And for what I think is going to happen, I think it will be a gut check, but I think the Bills will be taking it here. We have seen years over the last 20 years that there have been good teams that have gone to challenge the Patriots, but not yet quite jump over the fucking hump. And even when they did, it was because Patriots were most likely not at full strength. So what I think happens here is the Bills say, we're for real, and they're going to come out and play like it. Now, I do think that the rumors and it looks like clear indications that there are, in fact, trades going to be happening, or at least serious trade talks for Stephon Gilmore. I think that is a clear indication that the Patriots are realizing they should do a full rebuild. Maybe they've seen, enough from Cam. I'm not saying that he's bad, but maybe they're just like, he's not going to be our quarterback for the future. And that's just, the way Bill Belichick may be thinking. So maybe that he's going to start trading away some of his most valuable pieces, get some draft capital, and accelerate here on the rebuild. And I'm pretty sure that if any team's going to rebuild fast, it would be the Patriots. So I think this will be the time that a team steps up, takes out the Patriots, and I'm just hoping that it can just last a couple seasons. I know Bill will be back. Like I said, he'll even put the pads on himself. So I think the Bills got this one, but it will be a hell of a game. I know it'll be a fight all the way through. Next game, I have to shit so bad, so I'm going to just go and do it, but that's okay. You guys can keep talking. All right, our next game is the Raiders and the Browns. This should be an actually pretty interesting game. Browns are now without OBJ for the rest of the season, but yet still have a very good team, and the Raiders themselves have a very good team with Derek Carr and John Gruden. Philanthropist, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, I think the Raiders they're just a good team. Really, that's my opinion I've had of them so far. I'm looking at the record. I think the Browns have kind of overachieved. I think really the Browns are a team that's 5-2, but should be 4-3. I think the Raiders are a team that's 3-3, but they should be 4-2. So I think the odds are going to balance out. I think the Raiders are going to get a win here. I really think Derek Carr is underrated. I think their defense is really good. I think Josh Jacobs, he's been in a slump. I think he's going to get back to it this week. Despite the fact that Cleveland has a really good defense, I just think John Gruden has his team firing on all cylinders. I think they've really been looking for kind of the prove it statement win, and I think it might be coming this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Raiders are definitely a good thing. I was gonna scroll down to the spread for this game, but first came up the injury report, and that's a scary sign for me because Goose already mentioned Odell's out. Jarvis is questionable. Myles Garrett is questionable. He's been a monster this year. Austin Hooper is doubtful, and Wyatt Teller, their starting guard, is also doubtful. That's scary for me. That's bad for the Browns. It's really bad for the Browns to have if Jarvis is out. You're kind of fucked there.
Yeah.
Especially with Austin Hooper down, Baker has no one, really to throw to. I don't know about this Peoples-Jones dude. He might be okay, and Higgins might be okay, but the experience is just not going to be there.
Right.
Cleveland is 2.5-point favorites. I think this is more of just a record one. I think this is less of looking at the actual fucking teams, more of just Cleveland has a better record. The money line, 147 gets you 100 for Cleveland, 100 on the Raiders gets you 120. I would be taking the Raiders on this one. I think they're going to win the game.
Right.
And I do think it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored, but I just think the Raiders are a better team in this one.
Agreed, 100%. So the next game we have after this one is a money matchup. This is one of the big topics we have. It's the game of the week. It should have been flexed into Sunday Night Football, but it wasn't. And this is the Pittsburgh Steelers, undefeated 6-0 against the Baltimore Ravens at 5-1. So Ethan, Jordan's taking a shit. We're here by ourselves. The floor is yours. I want to hear all your thoughts about this one.
I love so much about this game. The Steelers are coming off of their hardest fought game of the year. The Ravens are coming off of a bye week. I think at the end of the day, that is the difference maker this week. I don't want to admit that I am scared of the Steelers, but I'm a little scared of the Steelers. Got to watch some old Ravens highlights today against the Steelers, and man, that was something. Just taking me back to being a kid and seeing those matchups and, Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs and Ed Reed and Jonathan Ogden and fucking all of it. It was so great, man. Haloti Ngata, so I think this Ravens team is going to come out and prove it's as good as those Ravens teams. I think this is one of the best rivalries in sports. A lot of people have been posting the numbers this week, and the record is even. Ravens have taken the last 3, though. I think they stay on that streak because I just think at the end of the day, they're the better team. They have the better players, and I think also all this talk about Lamar can't do it and the offense isn't what it was last year, I think is probably starting to get to them. And I think even though the offensive line is struggling, I think the Ravens are going to come out and handle this game. I don't think it's going to be an issue. And like I said, I think the most important thing is the Ravens are coming off a bye week where they were really able to get healthy. It looks like Mark Ingram's going to be the only person on the Ravens not playing. And the Steelers are coming off of their hardest game of the year. So Ravens are 3.5-point favorites in this. $100 gets you $213 gets you $100 on the Ravens. 100 on the Steelers gets you 175. Definitely taking the Ravens in this. I think probably win by 7 to 10, somewhere in that range. I'm confident in the team. I think we have as good of a defense as the Steelers do. What I'm really interested to see this week, and we talked about it a little bit beforehand, is what is the offense or the defense going to do now with the addition of Yannick, especially against a team where they're not going to be able to blitz as much as they normally would. So I'm very interested to see that, but I think they've made the correct additions in order to improve that and not have to blitz as much. I think Calais and Yannick and Derek Wolfe, that's a nasty defensive line. You throw Brandon Williams in there, I mean, that's just good, man. So I'm excited for this week. It's going to be a great game. I'm gonna be busting my ass back from camping to get here to watch that shit. And you're damn well right. I'm gonna be pumped up the entire fucking day. And if we lose, I'm shutting off the TV at 1 and I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you are. You will
Wow.
be big mad.
Nah, I'm playing, but I will be pretty upset because I don't want to be 2 games back of the Steelers either.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, my thoughts on this game are pretty simple. I've been saying for a while now, I don't think the Steelers are that good. I really don't. And I refuse to believe that until they beat a team. I know they beat the Titans, but I don't think the Titans are in that A tier, that contender tier. And really, I think the Ravens are just completely and utterly better than this team. I think the Ravens have been underrated by sports media, by fans, by everybody, simply because of the fact that they lost to the Chiefs when they've really steamrolled everybody else they've played. And they seem to be, basically chugging along at the same pace that they were last year. So I think this is a really simple game for me. I think it's Ravens by 10. If the Steelers do win, I'm going to give them the respect. But until that happens, I'm not a believer at all.
One more thing with this game. I know I mentioned Mark Ingram probably not playing. I actually think that might benefit the Ravens, not mentally, but actually on the field, because I think they've been missing out a lot on what J.K. Dobbins has to offer, just
Yeah,
because there's only so many touches to go around between Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. There's only so many.
agreed.
But I think this week he'll really get to come out and show what he's got.
Definitely.
I hope so. I did start him this week, so we'll see how that goes. This game I think can go either way, like it always is, right? The fucking Patriots, Ravens and Steelers, always a good game. This game should be Sunday night. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what the ratings are for NFC East teams. I think a majority of people just watch it because of how terrible the football is. I really would like to see this game played on Sunday night. I think the Ravens are going to win, but I will say that I wouldn't mind if the Steelers won just so I could see what Ethan's reaction would be.
Oh, he would be on the podcast just tripping, folks. I'm telling you
Because
right now.
this dude has not given any credit to the 6-0 Steelers. And
No,
I
I gave them their credit after last week. I think they're a good team. I think, as Phil said, I don't think they're an A tier team. I think they're in that B tier of the AFC with the Titans and the Bills. I think they're all in that B tier. They're good teams, but I don't think it's going to take something special for them to take out a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens in the playoffs. That's all I think.
They struggled with the Giants. Come on, man. Not here for it.
And the
week one.
Drew Lockless Broncos.
Yes.
Too.
Nope.
We need that preseason. Oh, well. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I really can't wait to see how angry or excited Young E will get for this game. Definitely the very few games during the season that gets Ethan's blood pressure to the point where he actually might have a heart attack. And Steeler games are definitely right there.
Oh, yeah.
Also, want to apologize for having to go. Mexican food is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Anyways, next game, I think this one also has blowout potential. We have the Titans versus the Bengals. Now, I do think the Bengals have been playing better than what their record is saying at 1-5-1.
Yeah.
But they're still the Bengals, and I still don't think they're that good of a team. And on top of that, we have a Titans team that lost in not the best fashion. They didn't really have a shot. They had a kicker who needs to retire, miss a field goal late to tie it up so they can go to overtime. They didn't get a chance to go to overtime. So I think they're going to come out this week, and they're going to come out firing. I think this is going to be a pretty easy dub for the Titans. Philanthropist, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this one. I think it's going to be Titans easily. Only thing about the Bengals, I think they'll put up good numbers. They'll compete. Really like Joe Burrow. He looks fantastic. Probably one of the best rookie quarterbacks we've ever seen so far, if his performance holds. So, yeah, I think Titans got this handily in the bag, and then I think the Bengals will put up a semi-decent fight.
Youngie?
Yeah, I think it's a better game than we give it credit for. I think it'll be a good game, and it'll come down to the last couple tries. But I think the Titans have this. They're 1.5-point favorites. I'd definitely be taking that. 250 gets you 100 on the Titans. 100 gets you 210 on the Bengals. In terms of money line, I might be taking the Bengals because that's some good odds for the Bengals right there. And I think this is a game where they could creep up and steal the game on Burrow's play, but I also think the Titans are a pretty good team. So
It just scares me with I mean, I know that Titans defense isn't the best in the league or really up there, but they do have a good defensive line, and they like defensive lines have been just fucking obliterating Joe Burrow. Like this dude's getting defensive ends are getting running starts hitting him while he's in the pocket. Like it's absolutely insane.
They did get some offensive line help this week from the Seahawks for that boy Carlos Dunlap. Doesn't help the Bengals really because their defense fucking is atrocious. But at least they got the offensive line help so their quarterback doesn't get killed.
That's smart. I am definitely glad they did that. But we'll see what Zach Taylor puts together. I'm not sure it'll be all that effective, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. Next game that we have is the Minnesota Vikings, who just seem to be – they've admitted that the season is over, but it is a divisional matchup against the Packers here. They usually play him pretty well. Aaron Rodgers, who looked pretty bad about 2 weeks ago, got a little surprised by the Buccaneers there, but had a great bounce back game against the Houston Texans. Young E, how do you see this game going?
Green Bay is 6-point favorites. 100 on Green Bay gets 286 on Green Bay gets you 100. 100 on Minnesota gets you 220. Green Bay all the way. I think Minnesota fucking sucks. I think that, like you said, they've admitted the season's over. Trading Yannick was like that move for me. That says the season's over. There's also rumors coming out today and yesterday that Adam Thielen was discussed in that deal too, which I think if they're talking about moving Thielen, they're really thinking this is over.
Wait, how happy have you been? I know you love that.
I'd have been a 10 out of 10. I love Adam Thielen, and I think
you would have nutted for sure.
Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit in the Ravens offense because we need that big body possession receiver, but we just got Dez, so
like that.
I'm gonna let that play out for a couple weeks and see how that goes. But yeah, Packers all the way. I think they'll easily cover the 6-point spread. I think Kirk's probably gonna throw 3 picks in this game. Two to Jair. Jair's been having a good season. But yeah, that's how I see this game going.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Man, whoa! This brother's on another level. I'm just trying to tell you something.
How do you feel about this game, and what the fuck is my man Aaron Rodgers going to do?
Couldn't have said it better myself, bro. I think it's going to be a pretty handy blowout here. The storylines to watch for me as a 49ers fan, I'm looking to get Kirk Cousins as devalued as you possibly can so that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch can swoop in and buy him at his lowest point. Because I think there's still something left there, you know? You put him with a guy like Shanahan, he's going to make him look passable. I'm ready to move on from Jimmy G. I think the majority of 49ers fans are. If you're going to ask me, Phil, are you going to bring up Jimmy G every time there's a quarterback discussion? The answer is yes, I will.
I find that entire thing that you just said disrespectful to Jimmy G.
Number 43.
Number 43.
Hey, but I agree. I think Kirk
being number fucking 43.
Kirk offers a little bit more. Brings a little bit more to the table. He's more experienced in the pocket. He's better at his reads.
He's thrown 4,000 yards a few times in his career, several times, many times.
Yeah, but Kirk brings a lot more to the table, bro.
It's sexier.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is a fan.
You like that?
Confidence is sexy, bro.
I respect that.
Hey, really good afternoon games this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good slate.
I'm not that excited for this next one here.
One last point on that Vikings game. I would just like to say Justin Jefferson is a top 10 receiver right now already. I would just like to throw that out there. Let you chew on that a little bit.
You can't do that.
Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that?
Can I say DK's top 10?
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
you can. You
No,
can throw it there,
You
bro.
can do that. You can do that.
You can do that. You can do both.
You can just do a little bit of everything. Fuck it. It's 2020. All right. Next game, I know Young E super excited for. We have the Denver Broncos, who is essentially a second team, versus the San Diego Just kidding. Los Angeles Chargers. I still do that, and I don't
Too
think
soon, bro.
it's going to be a couple years even for me.
Too soon.
I think what makes it hard for me too is that they're essentially in the same area. It's not like they
Yeah.
really moved all that much.
They just shouldn't have moved. Fuck Spanos.
Yeah, no, they
Fuck
shouldn't
Dean
have done that in
Spanos.
the first place. No, fuck that shit. And then trying to get the taxpayers to pay for his fucking stadium. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, eat a dick.
Anyway. This game will be intriguing, of course. I think it'll be a good game just from the standpoint of it is a divisional game. We have two very young quarterbacks going up against each other. And they're two young, up-and-coming teams. Young E, I know you're excited for this one. How's this one going to go? Who's walking out with the dub?
ESPN hates this game so much it doesn't have the betting lines up, so I don't know. But I can tell you that
put your money on.
Chargers are 3.5-point favorites, but I think this is going to be a good game. I like this game. Like you said, two young quarterbacks. I think these are both two teams where their actual talent is a lot better than their 2-4 records. I think both of them have been kind of bad luck with the injuries, but they're getting healthy and they're getting there. I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to come down to the end, but probably to surprise you guys, I'm going to take the Chargers narrowly by 1 point in this game.
Good pick.
I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. Philanthropist, how do you see this game going?
I'm with the Chargers too. I mean, it sucks for the Broncos, but they've been just ravaged by injuries. And Herbert looking real good. Love their defense still. I mean, not Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa coming off the edge. He's going to get up in Drew Lock's business. It is Drew Lock playing now, right? He's back from injury.
Yeah, Drew Lock's back. You looked good last week.
My biggest thing is just stability at the QB position for both of these teams. I think the Chargers have more of it, and I think they have more of their weapons available to them. And I hate to say it because I love Vic Fangio, but at this point, I think it's pretty clear that Anthony Lynn is the superior coach in this matchup, at least as a head coach.
Yes, sir. Let him know.
Yeah, I mean, that's not, but I would say Anthony Lynn is a borderline top 10 coach in the league, so
Agreed.
That's not anything bad towards Vic Fangio.
No, I have high hopes for Fangio because he was the defensive coordinator of those vaunted 49ers defenses in the early 2010s. So I have a high opinion of him. I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, but it is what it is. Bad injuries, bad luck. Yeah. It happens.
I mean, you lose Cortland Sutton, Von Miller. Those two right there. I mean, that's your top offensive producer from last year, and then your top defensive producer from the last 10 years. So that's some tough losses.
Yeah, it's tough, no question.
All right.
Liking this next one, Goose. Let's get it going.
Only good games from here. Just kidding. Sunday Night Football.
We have a disrespected quarterback in Jimmy G. Niners.
Stop it.
Taking on the very respected Russell Wilson. This game will be absolutely incredible. I love the Niners and Seahawks. It's some of the best matchups. Even if both teams are shit, it's still a good game. But fortunately for us, both teams are good. Some might even say very good, and some might even say great. And this is a game that I think Jimmy G has to come out and show I am not only the sexiest quarterback in the league, but I'm up there with some of the best. Okay. He has the tools. I think he can do it. He definitely has, I wouldn't say, with injuries and stuff, the best team around him, but there's a good fucking team around him, right? They got some good weapons there. Mm-hmm. There's no reason, no excuses onto why he should be underperforming in any sort of way. So Since this is your team, Philanthropist, how do you see your Niners going up against this very good Super Bowl contending Seahawks and potential MVP Russell Wilson?
I think the 49ers are going to win easily. The Seahawks are booty. They suck. Let me tell you something. Let's look at the Seahawks schedule here. Week 1, Seahawks 38, Falcons 25. They gave up 25 to the Falcons, kept it in, shooting distance at the
Oh,
end.
their defense is really bad.
Yeah, real bad. You know who likes bad defenses? Kyle Shanahan. All right. Week 2, we've seen what the Patriots are. They're not that good. Seahawks 35, Patriots 30. They got stopped on the goal line at the very end, almost lost to Cam Newton running it in. Week 3, they gave up 31 to the Cowboys. They won 38-31, one touchdown game. Not what you like to see against a really bad team led by the ever great Mike McCarthy. Week 4, only beat the Dolphins by 8 points. They should just be better than that. Week 5, they won by 1 point to the Vikings. And then, of course, last week they lost to the Cardinals in OT. I just don't think they're that good. I think their defense is really holding them back. I think they're relying on Russell Wilson to do literally everything for them. With Chris Carson out, their run game is very much in question because Rashad Penny has not looked good. I think that depending on how
that Phil,
what?
What's up with Penny, bro?
He's just kind of overweight. He's not kept himself in good shape. He's not hitting the holes good. I mean, it is what it is, man. I like food too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on him for it, but he at San Diego State, I watched him very closely. He did not play at the weight that he's playing at in Seattle. And he was, a power back, but he was fast, very agile. When you put on 30 pounds, that's not going to happen. You're not going to have that same burst. So unfortunately, they're going to be rocking with him. I think they're going to rely way too much on the passing game. I think Robert Saleh is probably a top 3 defensive coordinator right now, especially with the injuries he's had to go through this year. But Emmanuel Mosley and Jason Verrett have been really surprisingly I'd say a top 5 secondary group this year when they do play together. It's very strange. Mosley is obviously young. Verrett's a comeback guy who's really struggled with injuries the past few years, but they've been fantastic for us. Fred Warner's having an all-pro season. We're still getting a reliable pass rush even with those injuries. And I think we're going to keep Russ honest. He's going to have a great game, of course, but no run game. They're going to be pretty one-dimensional. And then on the other side of the ball, too, regardless of how Jimmy G plays, I don't really know at this point. He could have a decent game. He could have a poor game. At the end of the day, I know we're going to run the ball well. I mean, we've shown that. We've had Jeff Wilson, breakout game, gets hurt. Jermichael Hasty, breakout game. Jerick McKinnon, breakout game. It doesn't really matter who's carrying the ball. We're going to get 150-plus rushing yards, especially against this trash defense, too. So my thing is, if Jimmy G can, make those intermediate throws, get the ball to Kittle, get the ball to Ayuk. It really hurts that we don't have Deebo Samuel this week, but really our passing game has come together. It's just whether or not Jimmy G can make those throws. I think he's going to do enough for us to get the win. And then like Jordan said, this is really a gut check for Jimmy G. We need to really start asking the question on if we need to keep him or if we need to move on. He's really been on a leash with Shanahan. A lot of bubble routes, a lot of quick slants, a lot of screens. We got to open up the playbook to beat a team like this. So I think we're going to do it, but, we'll see.
Youngie.
Seattle is 3-point favorites. 161 gets you 100 on Seattle. 100 on the Niners gets you 132. So pretty close. This game, for me, I see it a little bit different from Phil. I do think that the Seahawks rely on Russ a lot. I love Averett, by the way. He was really good on the Chargers when he was healthy, but he has had his injury problems, but he's always been really good.
Right.
But I think Russ might have like a 280-yard day. I think that secondary is going to hold him in check. I think really weirdly, and we're all going to feel out of place, Carlos Hyde is going to have 100 yards this week. He had like 50 last week, but I think this is it'll be like a revenge game for him. He just wants to go up against the Niners and put up some yards, and I think he'll randomly do it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be enough. I think the Niners are just better. I do disagree with Phil on the offense side of the ball, too. I think they're going to struggle a little bit in the rushing game because of the injuries. I mean, Jermichael Hasty might bring something, but I haven't seen anything out of Jerick McKinnon where I'm like, ooh. Especially last week. They didn't have him involved in the offense at
I would
all.
like to say he was supposed to rest last week, but then Jeff Wilson got hurt, so they had to bring him in at the end. Second point, too, before I let you continue, the Niners are wearing their all-white throwback jerseys, so that brings a whole nother dimension.
Yeah, that gives them bonus, but let me get to what I was finishing. I think you're right. Shanahan is going to open up the offense this week because I think he knows this is going to be one of the worst defenses he plays throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is really going to be, is Jimmy G the one, or is it time to move on? And for me, Jimmy G is going to come out. He's going to throw 375 and 4 tubs.
Stop it. I'm about to sign off. That's enough. Oh, you got me excited.
Ayuk is going to have a big game. He's going for 140 at least. I think he's going to have 2 tubs. I think Kittle's going to have a good game. I'm going to just be real with you. The Seahawks don't have an answer for these guys. They just don't.
No, they don't.
Kittle
if that happens, Ethan, I'm kissing you straight on the mouth, bro.
Kittle might get 15 receptions this game, bro. Like, I'm going to be real. The Seahawks defense is that bad.
Good luck trying to guard him.
I hope all of that happens, Young E, because I am, in fact, starting Ayuk. So, fantastic. I absolutely love that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think both teams are good, but I'm going to have to take the Seahawks in this one. I don't know if Jimmy G has the cojones for him to come in this game and really pull it out. I think that for them to come out of big games like this and come out with a dub, that he needs to carry some of the team on the back instead of the team carrying him. And we've seen that far too often. And I think, like we've talked about, Russell Wilson's starting to head into that direction that Aaron Rodgers has had to deal with having to carry the team and the team not really putting the best weapons around him, even though he does have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But I do think Russell Wilson does have the capability to carry a team like that, and I think these will have to be one of those games, and I think he will, in fact, do it. But I do also want to point out that since we have gone over these games, I have seen 3 games that I would have preferred to be on Sunday night in comparison to the Cowboys and Eagles, and I just really do not understand the thinking. And I understand that we did have the Seahawks last week for Sunday Night Football, so they didn't want to do that again. But I would have rather seen the Niners and Seahawks. I would have rather have seen the Bills and the Patriots, and I definitely would have rather have seen the Steelers and Ravens, so I do not know what the NFL is doing.
I'd even rather see the next game we're going to talk about, the Bears and the Saints.
No, I'd be mad if that was Sunday night. I'm sorry. I would be pretty mad. But, let's go ahead and jump into the next game. We have the New Orleans Saints versus the big dick Nick Foles Chicago Bears. And, I got to be honest with you. I did think that the Bears, I'm sorry. I'm telling you, that Mexican food has me delirious, dude. But the Chicago Bears, I did think that they were, in fact, getting disrespected the last couple of weeks. They do have a very good team, especially that defense, and it's an elite defense. But I do think at the end of the day, they're not quite ready yet. Their record might be a tad bit better than what they actually are. I think the Saints are realizing how good the Buccaneers are and needing to step up and really keep up with what they're doing. So I think this can be a pretty easy game for the Saints. But that's just my opinion. Young E, how do you see this game going?
Saints are 4.5-point favorites. 222 for 100 on the Saints. 100 on the Bears gets you 180. The Saints haven't done too good against the spread this year, so I would probably be betting against them to cover that spread. But I do think they'll probably get this one at the end of the day. But I think it'll be a close game. I think the Bears have proved that they're a good team. They have a really good defense, and they're a quarterback away. I think Bowles is probably going to continue his shitty play. He's probably going to throw 2 or 3 picks, and we're just going to have to fucking deal with it. And I'm going to just be mad again that we got Nick Foles in there instead of Mitch Trubisky, and he's not that much better if he's better at all.
You can't do that.
They just need a different quarterback. They just need someone else from a different team or from the draft this year. They got to get someone else in there because that team's too fucking good to be getting held back by a quarterback. I mean, there really aren't very many teams in the NFL history who are carried so much by the rest of the team and held back strictly by their quarterback. It's just shitty. They got to figure it out.
Fitz would be perfect in Chicago.
Yeah.
Love to see it. All right, Philanthropist, how do you see this game going?
I mean, I might have a little bit of a different opinion than Ethan. I agree with him that the Bears are a good team outside of their quarterback, but with the quarterback situation, I don't think any of it matters. And to add on to that, I have David Montgomery on my fantasy team. He is ass, bro. He
No,
gets
he's
20
not good.
he gets 20 carries a game and gets 60 yards like clockwork every single week. So they really just can't generate anything on offense. They can't get the ball to Allen Robinson or any of their 10 tight ends. I think that they had no business at all being 5-1 in the first place. So I think this next stretch of 3 or 4 weeks is going to be them kind of falling back down to earth and getting back to that 500 mark, which is probably where they belong. I don't have a really high opinion of the Saints this year, but they're definitely in a different class than the Bears. So I think it's going to be a pretty handy Saints win this week.
And it'll be interesting to see. I think the Saints have been doing pretty well without having Michael Thomas on the field. Drew Brees, of course, has always done a great job of spreading the ball around. He doesn't need a top-tier receiver, but I do want to see how long they can go with having an effective offense without him on the field.
Right.
But I do have faith in Drew Brees and what Sean Payton do. So, I think this will be a pretty easy victory for the Saints. All right. I really don't like to give time to the NFC East already.
Let's boycott it.
We can go ahead and boycott this one just for the fact that the NFL decided we needed this for Sunday night.
Ridiculous.
Just to expose us to some really terrible football. We can just go ahead and give who we think is going to win the game. I think the Eagles are going to win. Young E, who do you got?
Ben DiNucci. Eagles are 9-point favorites. That's mean. No, I'm taking the Eagles. The Cowboys suck. They gotta get rid of their coaches. All of them. You think I'm fucking playing?
They gotta get rid of Jerry too, bro. Jerry needs to step back.
Mike needs out. Both Mikes need out. Both of them. Get the Mikes out of there and get some other coaches in there.
Get the Tabasco sauce ready.
Yeah. Just right in his eyes, bro. All right. Philanthropist, what do you got?
The winner of this game is every American who does not tune in and actually spends time with their family instead. The winner of this game, who cares? That's my answer.
Hey, this is the game for the division lead, bro.
Oh, wow. I'm so enthralled.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
No, I agree with Ethan. I think the Eagles will win, to give my serious answer.
Can we skip the next game, too? This is just shit.
All right.
Both primetime games this week?
Yeah, shit.
Dookie.
We do have, so the last game that we're going to talk about is the Monday night game, and that is the Buccaneers versus the New York Giants. And just like we just said, this was going to be, I don't know, bro. Danny Dimes be throwing some dimes sometimes. He be running 80 yards sometimes.
Against the number one defense in the league? No.
Hey, he could jump over Ndamukong Suh and just
nope, he
50
couldn't.
yards.
He could jump over Ndamukong Suh and get murdered by Devin White.
Hey, he's tripping for real.
Okay, I think this game will be closer than you would imagine it to be, but I still think the Buccaneers are going to win. Okay, look, this is why I think they're playing in New York, and that turf is ass. It's going to slow down the Buccaneers, and the Bucs might still put up 30, but the Giants might put up maybe like 17 or 20, and I think that would be a lot. I think that would be close for the Giants.
Tampa Bay is 12-point favorites, and I think they're going to cover that pretty easily. I think this will be it's going to be up there with Jets and Chiefs for the ugliest win of the week, but it's going to be one of them. I think it's going to be a 30-point game. I think the Giants are just awful. I don't think it's Joe Judge's fault. I don't think he's like a terrible coach, but Danny Dimes clearly isn't it. With Saquon out, they have nothing in the backfield. I'd say the only bright spot of their entire team outside of Joe Judge is Golden Tate and Darius Slayton, and that's it.
What about Bradbury?
Okay, Bradbury's really good, but they didn't deserve him. They didn't deserve him. He needs to go back to Carolina.
Yeah, you do.
Cheeks.
So we're good on the games. Are we ready to move to hot takes?
Yeah, I mean, the only comment I have on that game is to watch out for AB. It's with Godwin out and Mike Evans hurt. I think Tom Brady.
Is he playing? No, he can't play this week. No, next week. He's still suspended. He's suspended through week 8.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. Well, I really don't want to watch this game now. You got nothing for me.
It'll probably be ass.
The Scotty Miller show, I guess.
Oh, he's
Hey,
out. He's out too.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I think so. He's questionable right now.
All it takes is one little MetLife Stadium tweak of the
Right.
ankle, and we
Oh.
got a close game.
We'll
Chill
see
out.
if the TB12 method can hold up with Tom
Yeah.
Brady's legs. Pliability.
You guys think that like he brought some exercises to the Bucks, either like their training staff or just the players themselves, and said, "I'd like to implement these things for everybody."
Well, bro,
Probably.
it's not like he's teaching anything that's not already known, bro. It's basically just resistance bands. Like, yeah, we know resistance bands are awesome. You
I
know,
don't
the
know.
toes that-
He'd be getting them up downs. He'd be getting them good stretches.
I think he sold his soul to the devil, bro.
Hey,
Relax.
hey,
I'm
we've
just
seen
saying,
how
bro.
that dude looked at coming out of Michigan, bro. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
I don't know, bro. It's fishy.
That dude,
But hey, it's going to be Geno Smith time for real. I agree with Ethan.
Brady really looked like a 15-year-old Phil at the age of fucking 23 coming out of Michigan.
Psh, he was slinging it, though. That
No.
5.7 8.40 time. Ooh.
Hey, yeah. What do you think you can run? What do you guys think you can run?
I could give you a 5.5.
Fuck no. right now, I'm running like a cool 6'8".
6.8.
Bro, I got that quarantine fat on me. Man, my ligaments are bad. No, it's bad for me. 6'8".
We should do that for the podcast.
Hey, we should. For the
That would be
20th
hella
episode.
funny. We should do that like we should set a time for it so we could at least get some athleticism back into our bloodstream.
Oh, yeah.
With this quarantine shit, man, I've been so out of shape. But I think that would
Just
be
no MetLife turf or Ethan's going to tore his ACL.
Nice.
So that would be a lot of fun. All right. Hot take time. Do any of you guys have any hot takes here? If not, I got one.
You
Go
first.
ahead. I got one, but go ahead.
All right. I think this is a little bit of a hot take. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen, but I think there is a good chance for it. I think the Steelers are going to decidingly beat the Ravens. I think they're going to come out and make Ethan really upset. And I think it's just to make Ethan upset. I don't think they're going to do it for themselves. I don't think they're going to actually want to win the game. I think they're going to come out and say, we want young E to be in pain. I think that if there is a defense that has the athleticism to keep up with Lamar Jackson, I said this in our last episode, it is the Steelers. They have great edge rushers. They have great. I just think just the culture and everything they do. They do. What I like about the Steelers defense is they usually line up differently, like almost every other play. They really do switch things around. They make a lot of adjustments, and they can confuse a lot of people, even some of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I just see there's a possibility here for. I would even say it is an upset. I know the Steelers are undefeated, but I think the Ravens really are favored to win this one. And I think the Steelers know that, so they're going to want to come out and show why they deserve to be undefeated. I don't think that they're one of the top tier teams in the league right now, but and I think they've been fortunate with a easy schedule. But I think this is one of the games, just one of those divisional games, they're going to pull out their ass and get a dub. It may not be pretty, but I do think that they're gonna win this game. And then I do think they're not going to sweep the Ravens. I think the Ravens will go back to Pittsburgh and they'll whoop on their ass afterwards. So that's my little hot take for today. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I think that based on what we've seen with the Cowboys and based on what we've seen from their offense, I think it's safe to say now that Zeke Elliott's contract is going to be a top 3 worst contract in the sport as early as next year, based on how he's being compensated, based on the decline that we typically see from running backs in their second contract. And we could even look at Todd Gurley as an example of how these massive running back contracts can get out of hand really quickly.
Todd Gurley went through a few injuries though.
Yeah.
I mean, Zeke's still one of the better running backs in the league, but yeah, I don't think you're wrong in that.
I'm just a big running back by committee guy. I'm fully committed to that now.
Tony Pollard's good too.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, you never know. Jerry could start getting upset.
All right. I'll come in with the heat. I'm going to piss Jordan off because he pissed me off. All right.
Oof.
So I'm going to come and say The second best quarterback in the 2018 draft class is Sam Darnold. It's not Baker Mayfield. It's Sam Darnold. It's not Josh Allen. It's Sam Darnold.
Wait, Josh Allen's not number 1?
Over Lamar.
Oh, I forgot he was. Okay.
Lamar won an MVP, bro.
No. I forgot he was in that draft class, bro. I'm sorry.
I
Totally
think
forgot.
you get Sam Darnold, a comparable coach. No, comparable is not the right word, but just someone who
That's what you
competent. Yeah, sorry, I'm high. Competent coach who is not Adam Gase, even a semi-competent coach who is not Adam Gase, or just any coach who is not Adam Gase. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. We could bring Hugh Jackson in there, and I think they would be a better team than they are now. Adam Gase is so bad, and he's ruined Sam Darnold's first 2 years, 3 years of his career, and I feel bad for Sam Darnold. And a lot of people are like, should the Jets even bring him back? The eye test says he's the second best quarterback from that draft class. Even in the NFL, the eye test says that. I think he's good. And I actually really hope
Can't do that.
he gets the fuck out of New York this year. Like, I hope he just leaves. I hope they don't take the club option, and I hope he goes to a team that needs a quarterback and will give him a chance. If the Bears, let's say the Bears finish like high this year, they don't think they're going to get a quarterback, take a chance, give a guy like Sam Darnold a 1-year deal, let him have a chance with someone who's not Adam Gase, and give him some decent receivers. I like Jamison Crowder, but I think in any other offense he wouldn't produce as much as he does now. It's just that he's the single good player on their offense. But yeah, I wanted to throw that, and I know that's a hot one. That's a hot one.
That's a hot take for sure. I mean, I can't believe you would disrespect and not even include the GOAT, Josh Rosen, in that conversation, bro. Cannot believe that.
So garbage.
I think it's
fine. He's a free agent.
I think.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants him.
I think you are entitled to your opinion, of course, and I do think Sam Darnold does have potential, but at the end of the day, he hasn't proven anything, and especially in comparison to what Josh Allen has. I know Josh Allen has made some mistakes and hasn't been the best here and there, but
does Josh Allen have Adam Gase?
And I don't know what you mean by the eye test either. That dude Josh Allen is like the prototypical quarterback. He fits the eye test.
By the eye test, I mean the throws, the actual throws on the field.
Bro,
who's got the accuracy?
Darnold makes like 2 good throws a game.
The ball.
And here's my thing too.
Who's going 19 for 38
you're gonna have to call.
Drops?
You're gonna have to call the Ghostbusters if you want Sam Darnold to play good. That's not good. You don't want
Mono boy. Mono boy. Mono boy.
But I mean the ability. That's what I mean by the eye test. I mean the ability. I think what I've seen from Josh Allen is, yes, he's good, but he has a really good team and a really good coach, and I think that helps him out a lot, and it's really accelerated his development. Do I ever think Josh Allen is going to be a top 10 quarterback? No, I don't. I don't think he even has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback in the league. He's good. Like I said, he can throw the ball, and he can run the ball, but he doesn't have the accuracy isn't there. It's not consistent. But it's good enough for the Bills to be a good team. And, that's all the Bills need. But Sam Darnold, to me, when I watch him play, he has the ability to make special plays. And I think Josh Allen, with his arm, does not have the ability to make special plays. And as a quarterback in the NFL, you need that.
I think, Ethan, if you're looking to buy low on a young quarterback, I don't see any problem with going for Sam Darnold. Like, if you're the Patriots, if you're the 49ers, if you're the Vikings, maybe they want to move on from Kirk. If you're the Falcons, I don't have a problem with them trading like a second to go get him. If you trade a first, especially in this draft, I don't know about that. That's a bit much.
I think you're overvaluing him. I think if he was on the trade market, he would demand a 3 or 4 max. But I think also we are also looking at the last year of his contract if the team doesn't renew it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the Jets, with the trajectory they're in right now, And especially with Gase on his way out after this season, at least fucking hopefully, I don't think they're in a place where they're probably going to re-sign Sam Darnold. If you have that number one pick and Adam Gase is out of there, you're taking Trevor Lawrence, and that's just
10 times out of 10. Yeah.
It's just it.
All right.
So,
are you good? Go ahead.
I'd just love to see him on a team like Phil mentioned. Bears, Falcons, any of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Colts.
I can respect that. I appreciate, looking at someone's situation and understanding that they could probably be better if they were in a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we end it, we had a little fun last episode talking about what we would do or how we would do in a fight against a 3-foot Khabib. So today, to end the show, I have another one for you. And I ask both of you, do you think that you could take a coked up Adam Gase on the streets?
Let me see the size.
Yeah. I need to see his dimensions. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. He looks soft as hell to me.
That's why I thought it would be a good one, but he is coked up, so that is a big part.
Adam Gase. Let's see. Oh no, it's not giving it to me, bro. Oh nope, it's giving me his all-time record. I wish it'd give me his all-time record without Peyton. It's still under 500, bro. And think about those years he had with Peyton. That's terrible.
I know.
Yeah, it doesn't have his height in here. I can't.
Boys, look, listen, keep it a buck. The Lord is my witness. I ain't fearing no man whose name is Adam. On God. So I would just say that.
That's hella funny.
I think I would have a good chance because like we talked about, he might be a little soft, but he is an NFL coach, so maybe we're undervaluing his toughness there. Okay. I know he's not a good NFL coach, but he's an NFL coach nonetheless. But this is where I think I could take him. When he's doing this, right, once he looks this way, I'm going to hit him right here. He might not be able to keep track of where I'm going. I just got to keep bobbing and weaving. You know what I mean? So
right.
I think I could take him.
I mean, listen, let's think about this here. We know that he cannot put together a good game plan. So what's he going to do if I mix it up and I throw in a jab and then an uppercut? Like, how is he going to react? Is he just going to dump it off to Frank Gore for 2 yards? I ain't scared of that. Come on now. We got this. We got to outthink him. Easy.
Youngie, you got him with the uppercut elbow?
Uppercut elbow. Hey, man. I think I could take him just out of the hate in my heart towards Adam Gase for ruining the game of football every time I watch the fucking Jets play. And when he was with the Dolphins, it was the same thing. It ruined the game of football for me. I don't even want to watch the Jets because the coaching is so bad. Like, I really think I could throw a fucking middle schooler out there who's played 3 years of football, and he might be able to coach a game better than Adam Gase does.
Man.
So, yeah, I'm beating the fuck out of him because he ruins football for me.
So you think that rage that he builds up inside of you will overcome the rage that builds up inside of him because of that cocaine?
Yes. No questions asked.
No hesitation.
But Adam Gase what would scare me the most is he comes across to me as someone who doesn't have all that much to lose. When he's on the sideline sniffing something, you're showing me right there. You're on TV. There's cameras all around.
Yep.
And 2, you're at your place of work and you're out in the open in front of everybody. That's a guy to me who's not afraid of anything. That would be the only thing that scares me.
His name's Adam. I'm sorry. Like what? I think we could all take him, bro.
I hate him, bro. I hate him so
all
much.
Right.
I think Jordan loves him because he makes the Jets so bad.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It almost makes up for what happened with the Dolphins because he just went to the Jets and made them even worse than they've ever been.
He ruined Ryan Tannehill for the Dolphins.
What makes me the only thing that frustrates me is like he's that bad to where they might get the first pick. That's the only thing that makes me mad.
That's true. If Trevor Lawrence ends up being like a GOAT level player, that's going to suck. It's really going to suck.
Definitely. All right. I think that was good. We got week 8 coming up here on Sunday. And like we said, there's some exciting games and 3 that I think are top notch and should have been Sunday night football matchups. But it is what it is. NFL has this, and really America has this strange love affair with the Dallas Cowboys, who haven't done anything that has amounted to much success since the late 80s, early 90s. So I don't understand it. I will continue to not understand it, and I do not want to understand it. You guys have anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Nope, I'm good. It was a good episode, and looking forward to week 8, and hopefully a Ravens whooping.
Nope. Just everybody get out there and vote. Election day next Tuesday. Yes. Vote by mail. Vote at the ballots. Just get out there and vote, man.
Yes.
And don't vote for you know who, please. I don't want to have to explain myself, but just don't.
We don't like Cheetos up in here. You know, I will say with the voting thing is a lot of people think that your vote doesn't matter. That's not true at all. Nope. You know, there was one big example from the last elections where, I mean, it was still like smaller government official job. You know, it wasn't anything too huge, but they ended up tying, and they had someone literally got elected because they had to draw their name out of a hat.
Jesus.
So, you know, maybe there was one person that day that decided not to vote, and they could have decided to vote.
And many of those like local officials or the propositions, the state propositions, they have much more effect on your day-to-day life than the president ever will. So, you know, just be aware of that, do your research, and exercise your right, man.
Yes. You know, even if you don't want to worry, you know, presidency shit is too much because it's kind of a circus right now. Mm-hmm. At least vote on your props. Like you said, that has the biggest effect on our daily lives. All right. Good episode. This is the Couch Sports Talk podcast, where we get information about sports just the same way that you do by sitting on the fucking couch and enjoying that shit with a nice beer in your hand. And maybe some marijuana too, but we don't discuss that in some states, okay? Anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, we really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Where did we say stupid shit? Are our hot takes a little bit too hot? Are they sizzling your cheeks just a little bit too much? Let us know down below. Again, leave a like and subscribe. This is the Couch Sports Talk podcast. I am Goose with Philanthropist and Young E. And you motherfuckers have a good night.